It's me again, Sabrina. So today I will talk about play, but specifically about constraints to play. Let's Google. There's a quote in the book where it mentioned when there is a mismatch between play styles and environment, play is stifled or play will be interrupted. So what I want to highlight is the part for the environment. So what you need to understand that, for instance, like if the person uh, like hospitalized for a long time or experience like abuse or neglect, so that from the from the experience and environment itself, it can affect the play style. For instance, you see they tend to be more solitary, do more solitary play, or they tend to be less active and less involved. So you need to remember that in order for you to improve the play styles, to get better play styles, you need to improve the environment as well. You need to create an enriched environment so that play can happen. You can see play styles differ from experience from people with disability. So, for instance, like autism, what you can see is that they tend to have shorter movement in play. Is it like tend to arrange the car instead of playing the car like the correct way, and then you have they tend to be low in imitation. I mean, low skill in imitation and imagination. So, if you want to do pretend play, it would be very hard for them because they don't have that ability to imitate and to imagine the way that other students, I mean, typical students can. And then the other thing that you will see is that they have lack in motor planning and play organization. So when there's lack in motor planning and play organization for play or games that requires a lot of skill and that is harder for person like playing baseball or football. So that one would be very challenging for individuals with autism. So for individuals with cognitive impairment, you'll see they will show delay or uneven skills. So maybe like activity that have a lot of like fine motor skill, for example, like uh, moving things using tongues. So it could be very challenging for them, and they might not have interest in that. And second part is that they can show unsustained attention. So when you cannot focus, it's very hard to continue playing continuously. And the third one is that difficult to structure on behavior because you have cognitive impairment, usually it will affect the motor skills as well. So it will somehow will difficult, affect the ability to structure on behavior as well. So for cerebral palsy, usually the biggest issue would be mobility. So you will see a limited movement or a limited or abnormal movement. So usually a lot of activities are done while you are walking or moving around. So this will decrease their opportunities and involvement, especially with friends. And the other thing is that low cognitive abilities. So when you have low cognitive abilities, well, maybe toys, I mean games that need higher IQ might be harder for them. So aside from these three, there are other effects that you can see in the other disability as well. Is it like there's decrease in active play, so they tend to be very, they will just stay in their seat and choose not to approach others if they can, and they will be showing fear of movement. So, for instance, like if the individual have like gravitational insecurity, so like maybe the movement maybe that like moving higher up, like a hill or something, will be very hard for them. And then because of all these uh, challenges, they will be tend to be less exploring of the things that they can do, especially with toys, with games, generally with play. We can use play in intervention, but in through three ways, which are modalities, goal, and facilitate playfulness. So, for example, like modalities alone, there are three elements or three ways, which are developmental, functional, and sensory integration. So for developmental, technically it focus on the child's development. So maybe if you are focusing on their physical, cognitive, emotional, or social abilities. So for instance, like if you are focusing on their strength, for instance. So maybe you will do more play that involve like climbing, running, jumping. So in a way, the goal to increase strength will help the child, and then in a way will develop their strength better. So for functional, focus more on daily living skills activity or something functional in the person's life. So for instance, we can do like pretend play of cooking, and then later on like cutting with toy or something. So later on, this skill can be used in their daily life, like helping their parents in the kitchen, like cooking. So maybe the cutting part or like peeling or something, they can help with that. And the third part is the sensory integration. So if you focus on like reducing defensiveness and the person in the child, like tactile defensiveness. So maybe we can involve like more play involving slime or sand or gel. So they have more exposure, and then the defensiveness will be reduced. So, aside from modalities, we also have goals. So, technically, goal is that the therapist already have goal in mind for the child. So, for instance, like what I listed here is uh, the goal is to strengthen the child, to give more strength. So we need to adapt the goal in child's activities. So for instance, we don't have to like, okay, you need to weight lift or carry like so heavy stuff, right? You can always make use of things around you, like maybe like a water bottle, the heavy water bottle, or bean bag. I did try like transferring bean bag from one basket to another, or like put water bottle in your bag and then like climb up and down the stairs while playing, right? So it will in a way it will increase the strength as well while playing. And of course, the last part is to facilitate playfulness, because when you say play, it should be enjoyable or something leisure. So you need to teach them like to sort of intervention. You can use playful tone or like use funny expression or body gesture. So they can see that the play itself is interesting and rewarding for them, and they are interested to be involved in it. We have reached the end of the slide, so I would like to say thank you for listening to my presentation. And if there's any information that I missed or I did not present fully to you, I would like to say sorry. But if you need more information, please refer to the Occupational Therapy for Children book, which is written by uh, K. Smith O'Brien. See you again next time.